This is Erin O'Toole, the new leader of the Canadian Conservative Party. He may not be a household name yet, but his victory for the Conservative Party's leadership and the looming threat of a Canadian federal election means that he could be only a few months away from becoming Canada's next Prime Minister. But his somewhat unlikely victory in the race has led people to ask, who is Erin O'Toole? How did he win? And how did he steal the CPC throne in what many people saw as someone else's coronation? O'Toole was born in Montreal, Quebec, but would spend most of his childhood and high school years in Port Perry and Pickering. He was exposed to politics at a young age. His father was a member of provincial parliament for almost 20 years, from 1995 to 2014, but O'Toole wouldn't enter the political arena until much later in life. After graduating high school, O'Toole enlisted in the Canadian Armed Forces and enrolled at the RMC, the Royal Military College of Canada, where he gained a degree in history and political science. He was immediately commissioned as an officer after graduation and would spend the next 12 years serving in the Canadian Forces Air Command. He was involved in search and rescue operations, would train to become and serve as a tactical navigator, as well as attaining the rank of captain, along with the Canadian Forces decoration for 12 years of service. O'Toole gained his law degree from Dalhousie University while still in the military. Between 2006 and 2011, he practiced corporate and insolvency law at Stikeman Elliott. He was in-house counsel for Procter & Gamble and Heenan Blakey. In May 2012, Bev Oda's infamous resignation over a $16 glass of orange juice triggered a by-election in the Durham riding. It was then that O'Toole would enter politics to stand as the Conservative candidate, winning the riding with 51% of the vote, beating the next most popular candidate by 25 points, a landslide by Canadian electoral standards. He would only spend a few months as a backbencher in the House of Commons, before being promoted to the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of International Trade, and later the Minister of Veterans Affairs in the Harper government. Following the 2015 federal election, O'Toole was one of the few Ontarian MPs to retain their seat. In 2017, O'Toole entered the CPC leadership election to replace Stephen Harper, finishing third out of 17 registered contenders for leadership. Erin would stay on as a Member of Parliament and as the Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs during Andrew Scheer's time as Conservative leader. After the Conservatives' near defeat in the 2019 election, Andrew Scheer resigned and started the process for the 2020 Conservative Party leadership election. At the beginning of the race, political pundits and media correspondents alike all claimed that this was a near certain victory for Peter MacKay, more of a coronation than an election. Although 6 candidates would enter the race, only 4 would qualify, meeting the donation and signature requirements, those being Leslyn Lewis, Derek Sloan, and of course, Peter MacKay and Erin O'Toole. The race would center around issues such as defunding the CBC, Canada's relationship with China and the World Trade Organization, new trade agreements such as CANZUK, and of course, over the soul of the party and its direction moving forward on votes of conscience within the House of Commons, and how they would defeat Justin Trudeau in a general election. O'Toole found himself to the right of Peter MacKay, and ever so slightly to the left of Leslyn Lewis, while being even more so to Derek Sloan, branding himself as a true blue Conservative leader. O'Toole's ability to be unequivocal in his own personal values, such as his belief in marriage equality, while defending his record in the House of Commons, and assuring social conservative voters that they would never be alienated from the party, resonated deeply with Conservative voters. As the race wore on, even through COVID delays, the gap between O'Toole and MacKay shrunk immensely, while the popularity of the other candidates continued to grow. By the time of election night, it became clear that Peter MacKay hadn't maintained enough support within the Conservative Party to win on the first ballot, meaning that the CPC's exceptionally nuanced electoral system was going to have a large part to play. The Conservative Party's election system is designed to ensure party unity while mimicking the weight of federal ridings in a general election, and ensuring that the elected leader has the most support within the party. Each of the 338 ridings are given 100 points, distributed by percentage of votes cast for each candidate. In order to win the election, one candidate must gain a majority of the points, which is 16,901. If this doesn't happen in the first round, the last place candidate is eliminated, and their points are redistributed based on who their voters put as their second-ranked candidate, and so on and so forth until someone reaches the threshold. On election night 2020, it went through 3 ballots until Erin O'Toole eventually won. He was arguably able to win because of his ability to appeal to voters across the spectrum, who may not have ranked him first, but still saw him as someone that they felt represented them. O'Toole's victory speech highlighted the importance of party unity, the vitality of national unity amid Western alienation, and accepting all points of view but staying firm to one's convictions. The message since his victory has been much broader than just an appeal to conservative voters. With a grueling leadership election over, but a looming general election, O'Toole has been thrown out of the frying pan and into the fire. Now it's up to all Canadians, not just Conservative members, to see if they not only want him as the leader of the Conservative Party, but the leader of Canada as well. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want us to make similar content in the future, please leave a like and consider subscribing. If you have any ideas for next week's video, please leave a comment and we'll be sure to check it out. We really appreciate any and all support as we continue to grow our channel and try to make the content that you enjoy.